Craig, the scoreline would suggest you'd be really happy. How do you sum up the overall performance?
Yeah, look, we started the game really well, and when we got to, I think it was 14-0 or 12-0, where it was, I was probably hoping that the game was going to, perhaps it got too hard for the Titans, but, to their credit, they just kept fighting, which, they have for most of the games I've seen them play this year, and they fought back really strongly. We struggled there from about the 20th minute to the 30th minute. We hardly touched the ball, and they done a pretty good job on us. So, and I was a bit disappointed with our defence, for that time. But I thought our defence in the second half was really good. I thought, we made a real difference there. And I know they scored that try just after half time, but come off a kick, and they're really good at scoring tries like that. So I was glad our guys didn't get flustered. It was a tough second half for us without Husey. Wishy coming on to replace him. Wishy's a half. He plays various positions, and with all due respect, I couldn't remember the last time he's trained in the halves with us. So he done a tremendous job just sticking in there. Cooper jumped in and basically took over, and he done a real good job as well. And obviously Munster at fullback, his running game was great. So I was just happy. Again, the second half we didn't control the ball well, but I thought our defence was okay. And just with, losing Husey and, already having, Munster back to fullback and Nick Meaney not playing, I just thought, it was a pretty good effort all around.
How is Jerome?
Yeah, not quite sure. I think he'll have to go and have scans. They think it might be a sublux shoulder, so that means a dislocated and then went back in. So, until he has a scan, we're not really sure. But, with all due respect, he wasn't overly keen to go back at the second half. And when he's thinking that, I think it is reasonably serious because, he's played with injuries before. And it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
What was his feedback to you? Is he quite in a lot of pain now? Or?
Yeah, he's still in a bit of pain. I think they've given him some tablets, some painkillers. But like I say, he was in a lot of pain in half time. Yeah.
You've had to overcome a heap of injuries. I guess if it isn't good news, or even if it's just a few weeks, how would you overcome one like that?
I know the last time I said something about injuries, I was being negative, but he's going to be hard to replace if he's out for the rest of the year. So, I suppose on the bright side, hopefully we get Nick back next week. So, I'm not quite sure. But again, we're trying to stay positive until we hear the bad news. So hopefully, he might miss a couple of weeks or whatever, and then go from there.
Did Cameron's performance at fullback sort of give you food for thought, or it was very much just a one-off because of the situation with Nick?
Oh, well, I'm thinking it will be probably a one-off. I think we need him in the halves, probably more than fullback, and obviously he scored 3 tries, so we all know what he can do when he gets some space, and and he likes playing there, to be quite honest. But yeah, like I say, I think. Especially with Hughes' injury, I think we might need him in the halves more than we do fullback. But again, they'll have a say on it too. They know what works best. But having said that, I thought Wishy went on, and as I said, he hasn't trained in the halves at all. And but I thought he'd done a great job defensively. He's a tough little rooster like his old man. So I just thought hopefully, if Husey is out, we can train him in there and he can get a bit of combination with that right side. But he defended really well, so he done a great job.
Was that Cooper Johns' best performance?
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, without doubt. I'm not quite sure how many games he's played for us, but this was his debut at Amy Park. He's always played away from home, so I didn't know that until tonight, actually. But I just thought he'd done a great job. David Fafita he had a target on his forehead and he was running at him all night, but I thought he'd done a fairly good job. He's a hard man to handle, David, and he had probably as many runs as I've seen him have in the game for a while. I think he had about 13, 15 or something. So, and most of them were at Cooper. So I thought he'd done a good job.
You worried for Brandon Smith? What did you think of the on report there?
Yeah, again, I only had sort of one or two quick looks at it, but I just hope it gets judged on the tackle and not, some of the hysteria that has been going on this week. That's all we'd ask. So we'll leave that to the people that need to judge it.
Hip drop's the talking point, obviously, there. Do you think there's an issue in the game around it at the moment?
Oh, well, if you go on, one last week, but like how many has there been? If there's one in, I don't know how many games since the last hip drop. No one, Pat Carrigan doesn't go out in the field to try and break young Hastings' leg. At the end of the day, they're usually accidents, but, I understand that if they are in the game, they need to be out. But, I think, as I said, I don't think they're a big issue in the game. Obviously, with Jackson, getting that injury last week, that is an issue. But I'm sure Pat, he didn't go out there on purpose to do that. So. Like I say, I don't see it as a real big issue in the game, but I understand that it can injure people. So we want to get it out of the game, without a doubt. But there hasn't been a whole heap this year, I don't think. Well, again, I don't know, but So anyway, we just hope, and I'm sure it will get judged on that, and not, And as I said, it's been in the news a lot this week.
Would you make?
How did you see Xavier Coates' return, and has he got any issues with his ankle, or was it just a little?
I haven't really spoken to him. When he stayed down, I thought, this ain't good. But we've been through that before. But I think, I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure it's the same ankle. But so I'm not. Like I say, he finished off the game. I haven't actually spoken to the physio about that yet. But hopefully he'll be okay and he finished the game. So So we're thinking that's the case.
David Nofaluma couldn't wipe the smile off his face. He loved being out there in the Storm colours, and you said, get out there and get your hands on the ball. Looks like that's what he wanted to do. Yeah,
we just, he's had a lot of energy this week, to be quite honest, which is, with all due respect, wingers don't do a whole heap of that. It's usually the other people a bit closer in, but he's been tremendous, and, I just wanted to go out there and play to his strengths and back himself. And he doesn't have any trouble doing that. He backs himself, and like I say, it was great to have him out there tonight. And hopefully, I think he cramped up a little bit, towards the end of the game. So I think he's a little bit dirty about that, because he probably would have scored that try that Young scored at the end. So so hopefully, like, you'll get to know the other players a little bit better. The combinations will get better. You get a bit more match fitness, and I think he's going to be a real good addition to our team.
And nice to have Young back after so long. He sort of added some punch out there as well.
Again, it's funny how it happens. Justin went down with COVID this week, and there's a couple of blokes we could have put in there, and we could have put a couple of people out of position to go there. But we just thought with Young, he's been playing in that position up with the Falcons. He's been playing next to Cooper as well up there. So we thought it was the best thing to do for us. And I just thought he was physically strong, with his running tonight. I was real happy with him, actually. He's always sort of had that, but I think he's just a little bit older now, and his body's a little bit more mature than what it was when he was here before. And like I say, his running was tremendous. So I thought he had a real good comeback match.